Hello everyone, it's Jeremy. We've got another video, and in today's video we're looking at hay spikes for the front and the rear of the tractor, along with trying to build the perfect or better hay bale. So as you can see in the front or foreground, we've got our hay spikes on the front and the back, and these are really simple designs. Let me just pop him off. If you guys have this tractor, this is a very simple design to make that just involves a 1x8 or the 8 long pin, and then just a couple pieces. They give you the hinge there, well, half of the hinge that comes with the bucket, so you just need the other half, and they give you that stabilizer 1x4 plate. So that's my front hay spike. And we'll turn him around and we'll look at the back. And the back is even simpler. It's a 6 long Technic pin. And that one little spacer there, and that's just to stop it from rubbing against the tires when it's sitting on the back. And then just your hinge. So try to zoom in or get focused on it. There we go. And you just take the one little piece that sits here off and place that right there, and you're good to go. So let's look at these hay bales. Now this first one here, this is what I was trying to start with, which is basically a 4x4 round brick, 3 of them stacked together, and they've got the pinhole in the middle. And when you stick it on here, it just looks undersized, completely undersized. Sure, I'm not saying that couldn't work, and part of it's as Lego has gotten larger and larger with their tractors, the need for larger bales becomes more apparent. So that's what we've got. If you've got this, these are great. The bricks save you a lot of pieces. You can see our square bales in the back. Those are, you get a couple of those, I think 2 in each set when you buy the tractor. And this is what I've come up with. Now apparently they don't make, these are 6x6 plates. Apparently Lego doesn't or hasn't ever made the color 6x6 bricks like this in this size, at least in yellow. I checked Bricklink, I checked eBay. Nobody has ever seen or sold one of these in yellow. So what I've done is put about 10 plates on and just stacked them together, and as long as it's got that hole in the middle, you're good to go. We'll put him on the front and we'll tilt him back, and now he's good to go. Out the back, same idea. We'll get one of our other ones that's sitting out here in our field as it rolls away, and we'll stick it right there, or we can even move him down one, but we'll just leave him right there for now. You can see my lift arms at the bottom, they're not being used for this particular attachment. And there we go. So what do you do with this? You can put this, you put your hay in your barn, or you can put it in the back of a trailer and let have another tractor with a hay spike. So put it in the barn. So we'll bring in our old 2010, I call it 2010 because that's the year it was released, our 2010 model tractor. And what we can do here is bring in our wagon. And if you wanted to just set up a scene where the tractor was loading, you could just do something exactly like this, where he's loading it in there. And yes, they do fit. This old wagon, or this wagon that came with one of the Lego sets, fits 2 bales. And he just backs out, and he can just haul that back to the barn. So if we look at the hay spike, you can see it won't hold it because of the weight of these larger bales. It holds the smaller one. But as long as you go down and you angle it up, he'll hold it like that all day and probably hold a lot more weight. I've got one other idea here, because these Lego tractors, if you look at some of the pictures, I'll show real life pictures here pretty soon of hay spikes just for reference so you guys see what I'm talking about. The round bales are fairly close to the size of the back wheel. So, you know, we're a little bit small on this, but as a reference, some of these larger tractors, that's about where some of them are. So that's why I'm thinking this is probably one of the better ideas for round hay bales, at least. I've not seen anybody else do this. Try this idea. Now, I have tried other ideas with hay bales, and I'll show you one of my, I guess, rough drafts, trying to make him out of bricks. And yeah, it's not round. It's roundish. Wouldn't be too bad. The biggest point there was trying to make it to where it could be picked up by the hay spike. It's, like I said, it's a rough draft. You know, it fits in the wagon quite well. I can fit 3 of them in here. And sitting them in the wagon where you can't see the flat bottom, you know, that's not too bad. Or even if you were to just sit them kind of in a row. I've got 3 of them here. You sit them in a row, you know, they don't look too bad, too awful bad. Because you can kind of tell what they are if they're next to some other stuff. But I don't think anything's going to beat this new design concept I came up with, where, you know, you just have them sitting out in the field, different areas, and you have a tractor out there going to pick them up. I think that's probably the best thing we could probably accomplish. I don't know. I think the next size up, these 8, if you go 8 by 8, I don't know if Lego does yellow in there. The biggest problem with that is once you get to 8 by 8, they take out this pinhole, and you're just left with a solid disc, or like half discs. The half circle size, those don't have the pinhole, so then that defeats the purpose of the hay spike concept. So that's where we're at with these. Now, I've got one other idea for an attachment, and I'll show you this picture of a hay spike in action, and we'll come back after the break and look at this other idea. Okay, so you can see those larger tractors and the wheel size. You can kind of do a little bit of a comparison. But if you look at some of the larger tractors, even larger, some of them can support multiple bales, especially on the back. And what I've created here is a double spiked one. And when you load him up, it looks pretty nice. So we'll load him up here. And it's just basically, you know, putting the pins through the holes. And there's our fully loaded down with 3 bales on our new 2021 tractor. We'll look at the back from a back view. And one thing to note here, this is the modified rear end that I've made. It's got the lift arms on it, which is basically changing your rear end out to have this instead of the pieces they give you. So the red spacers here are for your axle, and what this does, it spaces out your axle wider. That way you can fit different things, attachments and stuff on the back. I know if you've noticed, the lift arms will take these bales off. I'm not using my lift arms, which are the white on here, and it's just kind of sitting partway in that coupler hitch, but it has to be wide enough to be able to fit. Oh, actually I am using the lift arms. Oh, it's one of those days. But you can see it has to be wide enough to fit those lift arms in there, and by doing that, putting these spacers in and modifying the rear end of this tractor, you can do a lot more with it. We'll put these bales back on, and I really don't lift. Yeah, see, that was the one thing I was worried about. You can kind of see my pieces here, how it's attached. We'll just do a close-up while we're at it. Just a really basic, simple design. attach him back. And trying to be not clumsy with it. There we go. There we go. You can just go head to the barn. So that's all I got for today, guys. I think this is my best concept for hay bales, at least for now. I'm not sure how much I paid a piece for these. It's hard to find a lot of sellers, at least on Bricklink, that have 10 or more in one spot. And there's a few out there. I think I bought 30 something of them, and it gave me 3 bales. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for some still shots of some of these tractors. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop a message in there. Send me a message. Either way, make a comment. That's really all I've got for today. Thanks for watching.